Hello BookTube, and today I'm coming to you from Aussie SFF, Sci-Fi and Fantasy, with a top 5 for Top 5 Wednesday. And today my top 5 is non YA science fiction. So here we go. So if you've watched much of my channel, you will know what is going to be my number one pick, and that is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by the venerable Douglas Adams. And that is a trilogy in, I think we're up to 5, I think he got up to 5 parts. I love this, absolutely favourite book of all time. It's, if you don't know much about it, it is a incredibly anxious and unhappy man from England is rescued by his best friend, who he was unaware was an alien, who was on planet Earth at the time of its destruction by the Vogon destructive fleets in order to install a hyperspace bypass, and taken for adventures around the universe. He's not happy about that. He just wants a nice cup of tea. And there's a cavalcade of interesting other characters within that one. So if you haven't read it, it seems to have a two sort of person review for it. Either people love it and think it's hilarious, which is me, or there are people who absolutely hate it, and I won't give my opinions on what I think of those people. Boring. Anyway, my number one recommendation to anyone really who wants to get, well, actually no, I don't recommend it to that many people, just because some people just don't get it. My next one on my top 5 non-young adult sci-fi is June by Frank Herbert, which is just behind me here. This is the copy I've had. This is the copy this is not the copy I grew up with, but this is the copy exactly like the copy I grew up with, because my brother snavelled the copy we grew up with. This is June Messiah and Children of June. It is a rather large tome, but he did some amazingly long amount of research before he even put pen to paper to pen this actual story, and it is so obvious when I found that out, because his world building is magnificent. Basically, June is a planet, the only planet that they can find that makes this particular substance called spice, and it is required for the navigators of their giant ships that travel the universe. And it is plagued by the worms, and it is an incredibly dry planet where water is one of the most important commodities other than the spice. So an amazing high science fiction read that I must read the rest of them, but they are just an amazing world building and wonderful mythology all rolled into one. Number 3, not in any particular order, just the third one I'm calling out, is Foundation by Isaac Asimov. The second book, which is Foundation and Empire, is one of my favourite books I read of last year, and honestly one of my favourite books. Although it's a very simplistic sort of writing style, it sort of hits you at home. Isaac Asimov's writing is just wonderfully, you can see how that would be our future, basically, and that's a wonderful way for it to go. My number 4 pick is The Theatre of Gods by M. Sudane, and this is a wonderful travel around the universe with all these eclectic, strange characters in the style of Douglas Adams, also a bit Kurt Vonnegut, and a bit William Burroughs style writing. And I read this year, and it is just completely swum to the top of the pile for me as far as some of my favourites go. I liked the aspects of steampunk and the aspects of how things change over time and are misinterpreted, get turned into sea shanties. My last one is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Le Guin, and this is an amazing story of from another planet where they're introducing the universal conglomerate government to a new planet and trying to bring them in so that they can trade. And it is a planet where there is no gender. Both partners can fall pregnant and that becomes the woman, but only until that sexual aspect is no longer needed. Is any of those traits available? So all participants in the community have equal standing, and it was her sort of looking into what would happen if gender roles not were reversed, which is a common theme, but were completely discounted from society and they no longer became an important part. And it was an outsider's perspective because of the person who'd come in to actually observe and make contact with this new planet. A wonderful sci-fi where speculative fiction is putting an issue that is current for us and current at the time as well up to a mirror, but doing it in a way that's not as offensive because it's on another planet. It's not us, it's not humans. And that is my top 5 non-young adult sci-fi and science fiction. And thank you very much. If you have any comments, please hit me up. Comments or questions, please hit me up in the comment section below. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you very much and happy reading.